Okay, so here's a quick video on programming north and south right now. Basically using set lists and some color palettes that are pre-built. So make this quick. Start out, change the labels of your songs for this weekend. All you have to do is hit the song. You'll see that down here it gives you the option to change the name. I'm going to open the keyboard by pressing that button. Change the name to Alive. Also, I like using this button. If you tap this a few times, you can see regular, lowercase, all uppercase, or where it just makes the first letter of every word uppercase. It makes it easier for typing on this touchscreen. Hit enter, and then you got that changed. So you can go through the whole set list, change your songs, then go through and pick your colors. So I like to go through and pick, actually somebody has kind of, all right, there we go. The layout was a little off, but go through, pick, these three right here. Those are all LED. I'll change them. First song is purple and white. So I changed it. You got purple up there. And then I'll change like all of my HFXs right here to white, and then actually I need to be on the first, actually back up, so I'll be on the first song, which is Alive. It will be purple and white gobos, purple on stage. All those upper and lower, the LED bars and LED bars are purple as well. It's just a little harder to tell because of the exposure. But then, once you get all your colors set, what I like to do is, if I'm using, like for this first song, purple and white, what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll highlight all of these, and then I'll come over here and hit purple, and then hit record, song palette 1, hit it again, and it'll merge that in. So now song palette 1 is purple. I'll do the same thing. I still have them all highlighted. I'll hit white and then hit record, and then come back over here and hit palette 2, song 1 palette 2, and now this one is purple, that one is white. And the reason I do that is because I have keyframe shapes built into some of these movements that are referring back to these palettes. And so when I built them off of those palettes and whatever color that palette was at the time. So it could have been orange and blue or whatever. But the idea is, since I changed that now, it'll update anywhere that I use those palettes. So now where this song, the last time I did it, the colors were orange and blue. Anywhere where those keyframe shapes that are referring back to those palettes are, it will change them to purple and white because I changed these two palettes. So now everything kind of updates everywhere. So you do that for song 1, song 2. These are usually just fast songs, song 1 and song 2. So I only do that for fast songs. Sometimes I get into the thing where the song that I programmed here, I may have two songs that when I initially programmed them, that they were both both of them were the first song on the set list that week. So Alive could have been the first song on the set list, but like our second song for today, Our God Reigns, when I initially programmed it, it was also the first song on the set list that week. So they're both referring back to song 1 palettes. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just, instead of going through and redoing all of the palettes and all that kind of stuff, redoing all the movements, is that I'll just use the same two colors for the first two songs, and I might invert them. So this one's purple and white. Well, the next scene I might use white and purple, so that the colors are still, as far as like how I lay out the basic scene, it'll be white and purple. I'll do white on some of the scenes, and I'll do purple maybe on the sidebars or something like that. Some way of inverting the colors. Once you get all that in place, you get your songs in place, then you create a set list, which I created a whole nother video for doing set list. But the idea is all of the songs, if you hit open workspace window and then you scroll over and you find set list, you open up, you got a set list window here, and then you put your songs in here. This has a button, if I can get it to focus. This says page mode whenever you're highlighted on this window. It gives you options for, you can see set list right there at the top. It gives you options for what you can do with that window. So I'm going to do page mode normal to show you that now, like, I have, 60 pages and every song possible, and everything that I programmed for different songs are all in there, but I don't want to see all of that. So what I did was I created a set list, and then when I come over here to page mode and switch it back to set list mode, all I see are just the songs for this particular week. So you can see Alive, so just this is for First Wednesday, so we have 3 fast songs and then the slow songs. So, but I'm only seeing the pages for what I want to see, and then I can come back in here and change the set list up, go back in and add tracks for the next service or whatever, add those in, and then when I come back here and I look at this, it'll only have just the songs that are in the set list currently, so that all I see on these up and down are just the songs for this week. So it just makes it a little bit more streamlined and focused, but it also keeps me from having to copy and paste a bunch of movements to all sorts of different places if I do all 60 pages open. So that's mostly it. At the end of programming, I always, every single week, I save a new show file, hit disk, hit save as, and then come up here and change this to the current date. This is on North console, so I would do North, the date. If South, I don't say South because it's my main board. I just put the date, and if I save it on the thumb drive, I know anything that doesn't say a specific campus name is South, but you can do it however you want to. Just, I try and keep the dates so that I know what's current, and then I can go back and I can delete once I'm a month out. Anything that's a month old or older, I try and delete that out and clean up the board and keep it clean as possible. So that's pretty much it for getting around and doing the basic programming at North and South. Since both of these have a Tiger Touch, I'm programming them both basically the same way currently with faders. Eventually you can get back to programming cue list style and having cues in your cue list for every single song, but that's just it takes more time and more attention to get all that, and I just haven't had all that yet. So that's pretty much it for this video.